my Elgato capture card. But here we are today is actually, we're a little bit ahead. So we're doing Mardini day 24, which is Swarm. And I had kind of like a simple idea where it'll be a swarm, but what's actually part of the swarm is a drone. So I was gonna probably model a drone, like a simple drone, and then put it together in kind of like a skull formation or something like that. That's kind of what I was thinking. So hopefully we can create something with that. All right. So here we are. I'll just start with the usual stuff like box. Let me unpin this. All right. We can do something like this and then get some, maybe like a segments in the middle. If I could see them. One there, and where else should we put it? Or maybe we do a few more. Something like this. We'll do another transform. And this would be like the wing, or like the rotor, the blades. So I'm kind of going rough right now with it. All right, so what else should we do here? Something like that. And then we can flatten it. Like further. Now this one won't work. We could just do a subdivide, I guess. We're gonna need another set of points for the outside. tonight is Swarm. So for Swarm, I'm thinking of doing like a swarm of drones. So this is just the beginning of the propeller, the actual blades. How's it going, Peter? Good to hear, good to hear. Doing good too. It's like only Monday, but it feels like it's Wednesday. I don't know why. I think it's only like 180. I think it's kind of like that. Either way, it's going to be really small, so I shouldn't worry too much about how it's going to look. Because when we start, like, I guess spinning it, it's not really going to be visible. So if I were to do like $FF, it's like frames. It's going too fast. And we'll color it so we can remember what this does or what we're going to do with it. Rotation. Okay. And then we'll need like a tube. All right, let me look for a drone reference so I'm not just creating something super random. Hmm. There's too many to choose from. Let's see what else I can look for. I don't know, maybe something like a 3D printed one. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. All right, so what else can we do? We can get the legs part. Trying to think of what the easiest way to do it would be. I guess with another box. All right. Maybe not that. Let's see what else can we do. Let's try this and then we'll get the poly bevel again. Okay, then we can do a convert line. Maybe. And then a subdivide. Looks kind of odd. All right. So it looks like it's like 3D printed maybe. Maybe something like that. And then we just gotta kind of position it in the spot where it actually would sit correctly. So this is just kind of like the base of it now. And I think usually some of them spin one way and some of them spin the other way. So I'm wondering if maybe just we do 2 and then with a mirror actually. Give us what we need. Yeah, kind of. Okay, what else? Let's organize this. So now we need like kind of these pieces in the middle. So this would be, okay, that's the leg. Let's do color. Or actually, we should probably make it a group. And then we can color the group here on this part. So we can get like a red group. And then over here, we'll do the white group. Except I didn't want the whole thing like that. Let's make sure we have the group selected. There it is. Okay, and then we can just put our own colors here. Okay, so let's do another box. Let's use a divide instead, and then use the bricker. Then we can just scale it down. There's our little controller, I guess. Or actually, it would be like this on the side. Yeah. Okay, so in the meantime, we can build more to this or just kind of leave it like that. We'll see. So we'll put an out node here. So we'll do a null. Out drone. But we could probably still do the same setup here for everything. So if I want to do like or at the end for rendering, I might just use a instancer from Solaris. And we'll also scale this down because it's really big. I put way too many points. We got like 1,000 points. So far, this is our little swarm. It's not going to be like a real swarm, but We could put like a point jitter so it's not so perfect right after the scatter, and that kind of separates it. So if we were to do something like this, we can do a grid. We'll do an attribute paint. And I can pretty much just draw it in. But we just make it big. All right, so hopefully I don't mess it up here. I need my Wacom tablet again. Okay, so this can kind of work, I guess. And then we can use the scatter, and we'll use density. We'll put mask. Now we got points in that area. Obviously, we don't need that many points for the drones, but yeah, they're probably too big right now. So let's make them a bit smaller. It's kind of hard to tell the shape. I'm wondering if we add more, just a little more, or we need to paint the shapes a bit bigger so we could see it more clearly. It would be cool too if we were to have this kind of come off in 3D. So if I were to do that, we can probably use an attribute blur for, just gonna do it here on the side for the mask. We gotta see it, so let's turn on the mask. We'll bring in the mask with a bind. I think it'll work like this. Okay, we gotta split it into or we bring that in here. Can't remember which one it was. Yeah, so because it's supposed to split it here, right? I'm doing something wrong and I don't remember. Let's see. That's why I use Vex most of the time. We can try to do it with Vex. Oops, I went too far back. There it is. So yeah, it's much quicker for me in Vex. And I could just put a channel here or a slider. Then I could kind of use that to come up. And if we connect this back again and the scatter, now we kind of have a 3D-ish. I might need to accentuate the skull a little bit more when painting it, because right now it's kind of hard to see it. If we add a bunch, it's a little bit more noticeable. I think it looks kind of cool. Like, I like this little effect that it gives. But, you know, if you squint your eyes, you kind of see the skull, but it's still not fully, it's not fully visible. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. Maybe we go back and paint it a little bit better. So if we were to start over, okay, I could go in here. Okay, that's the main part. Something like this. It's a little bit more noticeable, I think. Maybe the nose is not that much. Does it look like a skull from far? Maybe the nose needs to be a little bit more open. Wrong button. Okay, let's do here. All right, so what else we can do? We'll bring in another drone here. Let's merge this in. Excuse me. I forgot to take myself off mute, and then I muted myself and I was about to cough. All right. So, let's see. So we're subdividing this here, and then we are just gonna smooth it out. So let's go smooth. So what I'm trying to do with this is have the drone kind of be following the curve, and maybe like a set of drones follow that same curve. So when we look at it through the camera here, then we're getting a closer look of the actual model, and then, you know, where they're headed, which is this kind of drone swarm skull formation. And I removed the timer now because there's no timer for today. We are actually ahead of schedule, and we submitted today's whatever was due today. I think it was orbit. I already submitted that today. So today I want to work on swarm, and then I'm going to work on the other one, which is I think it was like dance or something. Let me check again. So yeah, swarm and dance. And then tomorrow I'll be doing collapse and talk. Let's do path deform. I haven't used this in a while, so let's test it out. So here's our little drone. And we don't want any deformation at all. Maybe it's not path deform, maybe it's something else. Or we can also pack it. And then we shouldn't get any deformation. Oh, it's still deforming it, even if it's packed. Well, sort of. The other thing we can do is we can just kind of copy to points. Do a copy to points. We can use a carve to kind of move it around, or we can just pretty much just get the points from the curve. Which I think that's probably what I should do. And then I can copy the drone in there. Is it copied? Okay, they're in the wrong place right now. Okay, so we have that. And then we can use the orient along curve. I'm guessing for before the scatter. We could do maybe a resample and make the points less points. All right, let's merge these two. Is it because this is not centered? So let's do a match size. Right after the transform. Okay, so now they'll follow the curve. I guess we need to fake it too, so we don't have to have them like super far away. We can probably just fake the drones by scaling them down. So we can get the attribute curve view from the resample. Attribute adjust float, and then I can do a remap. Drop in the curve view. This is the wrong section right here. Curve view. And then we'll flip it. And we'll make the minimum size a little bit bigger. So now they're kind of going closer to the swarm and getting smaller. And we could add more if we need to. I might just move it a little bit. Let's get the curve here and we don't need this one here. So let's hide it. And let's reduce the points as well. And we can probably rotate our drone 180 so we can see the top piece. Okay, let's go back and let's move our camera a bit. Right. So what's gonna probably make this stand out more if we add lights to it, because right now they're quite small, and the theme being swarm, we kind of have to do something where there's a bunch kind of together. So my thing is probably we're gonna get the points from all of these, and then we can probably add some sort of light coming from the middle of each drone. So I would do an instancer first to try it out. And then we want to get the points here from the skull. And then we want the points from the curve here. So we'll do an add. And delete. Delete geometry, but keep the points. So now here we just put points path. And I can just go inside of the instancer, do an object merge. Copy that path. You can see that that came in, and then we'll get the skull, and that came in as well. So now we merge these two. Oops, not like that. All right, what is this warning? Let's not worry about that. And then put in a light. And this should have worked. Point light. Let's delete the attributes coming from here. We'll just delete all of them. There it is. I had to reset the view. So now we have the lights for those points. And doesn't look like it's scaling it down, but all right, let's just take a look, and we could put a karma fog box. Let's save this also. Why are we getting these circles? Oh, we're previewing the wrong thing here. Okay, there it is. Let me save this before we get a crash. And go to Karma XPU. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see in this way. Maybe we just do a emission material that could be on the top piece, that kind of electronic part, and then that might give us enough light versus doing this method. We could still keep it, but I think it's not working right now. So let's do something else. Let's do the little backpack part. So we can make that into a group and then just call it like emission. All right, and then we can go back. Let's put an out node here so we're always looking at that output. And in here we'll do a material library. USD material builder. We'll just put emission. And then let's bring it up. Let's do like a reddish. Go up a level, another up, and then we'll assign that group. We gotta import the group in. Emission is in there. So hopefully this will work. Okay, so let's render. Let's do a quick render. that's not working either. Yeah, maybe we do a couple. Let's see. I thought it would be enough illumination for it to work. What if we use temperatures instead? Oh no, that's with the light. So let's make it brighter. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that is affecting it. So maybe I can try the geometry light. Let's try that. I haven't really used it. Geometry light, and then I don't know if it works with the group. I think I have to choose the entire mesh, maybe. Okay, so I put the mesh and then it looks like it kind of is working. Okay, so it looks like it picked up. Did we turn it off? No, we didn't. We didn't unassign it. Yeah, I don't think it's working for me. Shoot. So what do we do? Like it's working like this if I choose the entire mesh, but it's still not as bright as I would want it to be. Yeah, like this would be cool, but we're missing the other swarm there, and the entire geometry is red, which I don't want. I'm wondering if I have to extract that whole entire piece. We can try to do it like that. Let's go in here. So if we were to blast, emission, delete. Okay, so we're missing some here. We're missing the ones for the main swarm. Why is that? Because we didn't include it in here. Is that why? No. So we have it here, and then yeah, there's none over here. So we would technically, oh, okay, so I gotta blast it from this, I'm guessing, because we're packing it. So we gotta unpack. Unpack it here, and then we can take them out. Okay, and then we can merge those two. Do an out. No. And we'll do out light. Let me go back, and then I'll do a SOP create here. Object merge. Bring in the light. And go back. Okay, so now maybe we can grab the piece that we need, called light. There it is. So now we could change the color. Hello, hello. Heyman and hey, Tarn Singh. So I'm doing a swarm for Mardini, day 24. Today is actually 23's due, but I am kind of trying to go a little bit ahead because I won't be streaming on the 25th through the 27th. So I'm trying to get 2 streams today. So what I have here is like a shape of kind of like a skull. Hopefully it's, you can tell. Awesome. All right. I'm glad I said it correctly. All right. Let's go and add more points here. So we'll add more points to the skull. Yeah, it's the fog box. All right, let me wait a second because I put a lot more points now. Okay, yeah, so right here put the caramel fog. And then I extracted like a little piece that's in the middle of the drone, and I'm using that as a geometry light. It's the first time I used the geometry light, so I'm not really sure how to change the colors, like if each one has a different color. I don't know yet how to use it in that way, because right now it's just using the material, so no material response. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it works. All right, what if we change the color? Ooh, I think I like this. This looks kind of cool. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me add some more samples. Maybe if we add like some lines or something to help it. Or if we add a denoise. I don't know how that's gonna look. It looks a little bit better. Sometimes the denoise adds way too much blurring, and then it kind of loses the high noise detail that you may have in like some textures and stuff like that. Let's turn on the instances, and then we kind of blew everything out here. That's still a little bit too much. Let's do the kind of like that purple. So yeah, let's see. So this is kind of like what it is. It's a bunch of little drones here. That are creating that kind of shape. Yeah, right now the volume, this, does it have noise? No, I didn't add noise to it. Is that what you mean? Oh no, never mind. I use the noise to pass. Denoise to pass, and then use the comp, mostly indirect or volume as the noise. Yeah. I try not to use denoise a lot. Like, I really don't do a lot of like simulation stuff with like volumes or anything. So I usually render kind of like hard surface kind of stuff. So when I have textures that have like noise and detail, like if I add a denoise, it kind of loses all that, especially if it's animated. So in case you're wondering, the way we made this is with a grid, and then we painted kind of like a skull on it. We blurred it, the same attribute mask, and then with a Rango we added the position Y and the mask, and then we have a slider to control the distance. So that's kind of what we have there, and then we scattered it only on the points that have the paint, and we point jetted it a little bit so it's not so perfect, and then everything is being copied from that drone model here that I quickly put together. And yeah, everything is kind of going all the way downstream. There's no proxies really. This is just like a viewport thing. I'll show you now. So the way that this works with when we get closer and it starts loading, that's done automatically, and if you press D, you go to optimize and you can lower the amount. So if you have a computer that's like not too powerful, you can lower it to like 1 million, and you can see right off the bat those got like taken out. So if I put back 10, or if I put like 30, then more of them show up. I just put it right now for 10, just I don't want it to crash or anything. So yeah, that's how I have it set up. And then whatever's closest to the camera is gonna load, a little bit. It's gonna load in the view, and then whatever is further, it's gonna slowly be boxed in, like a bounding box. Okay, so I was thinking we can do like some curves. Yeah, you'll probably be better off doing a couple of tests with instances and seeing how you can navigate in the viewport. So right now on this computer, I have 128. Yeah. Hopefully that helps out. I'm not really sure. So if you have 64, I think you could still do what I have here with 10 million, even probably 20. All right. So where were we with this? We were going to create some curves. Not like that. I think we were going to borrow them. Or are we going to create them again? All right. So here it is. Resample. Yeah, I used the instance node for the drones just because for Solaris, if we do the instances like here, like the geometry copying and bring it out, it is pretty heavy. So what I did here, actually I haven't even done it. Yeah, that's a good point. So I think might be best to do it here. I did it with the lights, that's what it was. So we can do the instancer, and we can get the points. So if we do, let's just add a merge, because I'm gonna merge a couple different sets of points. So here, right here, we'll do another add. We have the points for the trail, or the front part, and then we'll merge in these points here. And then do another null. Out drone points. And then we can copy that, go back. At this point, we could disconnect this and then do a SOP create. Drone copy, do an object merge. I'm assuming everything will work perfect. And then, sorry, this is not where the points go. Those go inside the instancer. If we go back up, then we can grab our geometry, which is this one, drone out, which is just one single one. Copy, and then in here we'll do the object merge for the drone itself. So if we go back, everything is kind of working, except now we're not getting the proper scaling for some of the stuff here because why isn't it coming in? The orientation on the curve part. So there's a node called orient along curve. You can use that. So like it puts like the normals. So without it, right now I don't have any normals, it looks like. And then if I do the orient, it kind of follows the curvature of the curve. You can kind of see it better now, like that. So then when you copy points around it, then they should kind of align to that normal. All right, so our drones are tiny. I was changing the drones earlier, like with a curve view and a P scale, but those attributes are not coming in on the instancer. I'm wondering if I have to add them here. Curve view. If I just put a star on everything. Nope. Yeah, I didn't know about that node. Well, I knew about that node before, but I never used it. I kept doing things manually with wrangles and VOPs. And I think it was someone on the stream mentioned to use that one, and pretty much that's gonna be the winner for the curves. I would definitely use that. I'm gonna be using it a lot more now for any type of curve stuff because it just kind of does the trick. You just drop it in and it works. The skull doesn't have any orientation at all. The skull is actually just kind of extruded, but all the drones are pretty much flat. Well, right now we're not seeing drones. Here. They're pretty much just flat how it comes. So if I change the position of the drone itself, it'll change all of them. But I left it like that. And the extrusion is just the points that we scattered earlier from the paint. So yeah, so I guess, I mean, it just does make sense to kind of leave them the same scale. Or actually, oh yeah, this is the one that I scaled down. So they're bigger and then they scale down. But in our instancer, they're kind of staying the same scale all throughout. And I can't figure out how that is going to be working. So I might just, for this case, I might just leave it how I had it before. Just because it's working. I might try to figure it out later. But this is kind of the way you would do it. And then there's another way to do this with if your geometry is different, but you would have to add like a collections node, and then inside the collections node you have to set some other things. So if you had different models, you would put in the name here and then the collections name. You'd grab that and you put that into the prototype primitives, and then it can pick up the different geometries. But yeah, I did that in another stream. I think it was the one with the planet that's in the middle, and there's like a rubber toy kind of floating. For that, I think I used that for that stream. So, oh yeah, we were going to create some curves. So we were at like here, no, right here. And then we can do a smooth. And then we'll grab the curve view because curve view is easily created with the resample. And then we can use like attribute adjust float, and then we go into the pattern type, remap, go into source attribute, curve view, and then we could change this into like a hill, and we can use like a mountain. And then under blend, we can grab the attribute curve view. I think this should work. Was it with the mountain? I think might have been something else that I used. Let me see something real quick. What is this saying? How about we, instead of doing it this way, let's try with attribute noise float. I think this one, and we'll put, is it position, and then what was it that I used last time? There's so many things to do here that sometimes I tend to forget. Let's do curve view. Let's do a point VOP. And if we do curve view, we don't have curve view, we gotta bind it in. Curve view. Okay, so we got curve view here. We do have values. So if we were to just go curl noise, just wondering why this isn't working right now. Okay, so there it is, something. No, this is the same. Sorry, that's the same. Got excited for a second that it was working, but it didn't work. Yeah, this seems to be not doing what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna skip this. I don't want to waste too much time. So I wanted to displace this thing. And let me take a look at, oh, we have P-scale here. Why do we have P-scale? Maybe that could have been it. Let's take a look at that attribute. So it is kind of mapped correctly. So the purple is 0 on both sides. And I had this working before with the mountain. and I just don't remember now. There it is. Okay, so I gotta remove noise along vector. That's what it was. So now I can kind of displace the middle parts. That's what it was. Okay. It's just a dumb little checkbox here because if you have it on, it doesn't work. So I could do like a noise like that, you know, maybe something. And then you could do the kind of the same to another curve. If you wanted to just stack a few. There's other smarter ways to do it. This is the cheap kind of easy way. So if we wanted to bring those curves, we'll do null. I know the node graph is getting messy, but we'll work with it. Okay, and then copy this, go back, do a sop create. We'll do strokes and then do an object merge in here. And now the curves are huge, and we will pin this and go back into our setup here, and we'll do an attribute adjust float on it. And we can not an add, we'll do multiply. There it is. Let's do a test on that. We'll do another emission, and we'll add that material to the curves. That's like way too much. That's not really how I wanted it to look. And then let's go into the material again. Yeah, we have emission like super high. Still kind of high. I'm wondering if we make it into volume instead. Okay. So we have, let's unpin this. We could also add like scatter as well. and do maybe point jitter. Would this work again here? Yeah. Okay, so it still works with even the points as well. We gotta assign the points also. And maybe we do points instead of curves. And then we can do an attribute adjust float, or we could do an attribute noise, or we can do a attribute randomize. Attribute randomize. Okay. And we'll do P scale. And we'll put XPU, and let's save this as well. I think one of our drones needs to be like in the front. Hey, how's it going? So I have a Intel 4900K, I think, and I have a 4090, and RAM is 128. Windows 11. So let's add a caramel noise. So to the fog, where it completely disappeared. Well, yeah, right now it looks really fast, but it's actually the denoise. I think that's what's doing most of the work. So if I remove it, let me switch to regular view, and no, it doesn't really want to work. Okay. Well, it's still kind of, still noisy. But if you turn on the denoise, it kind of, cleans it up. Especially on stream, it might look cleaner than what it is. It looks very smooth for me, but I wouldn't render it with denoise. I would just kind of render it high resolution with enough samples, so it cleans up the noise. So you're gonna lose noise. You're gonna lose quality if you use the denoise in like areas that are very fine detail. So it looks like the noise here. For the fog, it's kind of weird. Let me add a lot more, and I'm gonna need like minimum. Let's reduce the max as well. then the fog, you can change the color too. But maybe it makes sense the way we had it. I would probably do the instancing like this. So if you're gonna convert it into USD, like for rendering, I would do it that way. My guess is if you do it in SOPs and you kind of, or is that, let me see, SOP import and instancer and rendering it immediately, or convert them to USD before rendering. Well, I would say that from what I've heard, Side Effects says that everything that's kind of brought into Solaris gets automatically converted into USD. But if you already have the USD file, it's easier to just import it with a sublayer or a reference. So there's like sublayer node. You could import the USD file there, or with a reference. You can put it in the file pattern. Most of the time I use a sublayer. And so if I'm exporting from Blender into Houdini, I export USD, and then I'm able to get the materials and everything in here. And then I have a script that kind of converts those into Karma or Redshift shaders. And yeah, I think that's kind of the way to do it. But if you want to do further manipulation, so like if you do a SOP import, usually is because you have it in the old context, so OBJ context. You can do it through there to have everything live. But if your scene is really heavy, maybe saving it out of here and then in a USD, and then just bringing it into Solaris with a sublayer. That's my opinion. You know, you could look up online in the documentations and see what's kind of the best scenario for what you're working with. But my guess, if you're doing a lot of instances, I would just have one object that's going to be your copy object, and then inside you have the points for that, basically. Yeah, it's a little confusing. So if you have multiple shapes or objects, the way you do it is with the collections, and then in there you set the pretty much the I forgot what it was exactly. I can open a older project and see, but essentially you would put a name for it here, and then once you have it connected, that name, collection name, you would put it here in the prototype primitives, and then all your pieces should be imported in. So I have this other project here that I did something similar. So here's the rocks, which is, so it's this entire Voronoi fracture, and then those pieces are getting packed and match sized into like one center. And then in here I'm putting Let me see if I can make this bigger. So the I variant is equal to I class, which is this one here, this class here. So I'm just transferring that over, and then if we go back, the collections here. So, okay, so we just put a name, rocks, and then / then star, and then you put a name here for rock parts or whatever your name is. And then on the instancer, you put the percentage sign, and then the rock parts, which is the collection name. And that should kind of make everything work. And then you gotta uncheck only copy specified prototype primitives. And then in here, all it is the points. If we just look here. Yeah, this should just be the points. Yep. Just different P scales and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of how I had it working on the other project. No, no worries. I'm here to, if I can help anyway. I did have a stream for that project, so if you wanted to check it out, it's on the lives. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this and maybe change the color of the fog. Let's go back to like that purple, I guess. And then I could just render this out and then put it in cops, and that'll be that. Let's go into karma, render here, and then we'll do XPU. Was it day 24? Oh, it's 24 now. And this is swarm. And we'll do, let's try 4K. Let's remove the frames and the hip name. And here we'll put like 512. And maybe we'll grab like I don't know, like the cryptomat object, I think. Yeah, like let's just leave that. Let's do a quick render. Let me change the size real quick just for the viewport. Okay, so this is our cryptomat. Cryptomat material. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I'm just gonna post process it. So let's go back to 4K and then we'll leave it like that and then render it. Go in here and let's see. Cool, no problem. What region are you from? Because right now I'm in Eastern time in the US, so it's 12 in the morning or 12 at night right now for me. Super late stream for me, but I'm trying to speed things up a bit. Nice. I I would love to go over there. Singapore, from what I've seen, looks beautiful. What time is it over there right now? Is it like during the day or afternoon? Oh yeah, you're literally like 12 hours ahead. Yep. I'm like getting ready to like knock out while you're like just up and at 'em. But yeah, that's the time difference. But yeah, I've been doing these streams. I don't know if you've caught up with them, but I've been doing them since March 1st. This was like a super challenge for me. I've been wanting to do the Mardini submissions for years now, and this year I kind of decided that if I do it on a live stream, I have to do it. So that's kind of the goal. How fast does it take to render 240 frames? It just depends on the resolution and what you're rendering. Because if you're rendering translucent stuff or like stuff with refractions and emissions, all these things like take up more time. But if you're doing like hard surface, like just matte shading or like metallic shaders, nothing that's refractive or emissive, it's usually pretty quick. So this one here for 4K, it took 3 minutes with a 4090. So let me check now the render. Oh, right here. So do a cop network. Drag that in. Yeah, and this is kind of the render so far. Came out alright. It's not my favorite. Power balls. I'm not sure what that means. Glass orbs. I mean, glass orbs, I guess, is just spheres, like with glass materials. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. probably add some contrast here and brightness. It's just called bright here in comps. Yeah, the only thing we're missing here is the motion blur, but oh well, we'll just leave it like that. All right, HSV adjust. Let's see what we can do with this, if it does anything interesting. Nah. We could add probably some noise in here. So if we were to multiply the cloud noise with this here, it's like barely visible. Let's do an over. So it's like maybe in the clouds or something. We could add this glow with add, which is basically a blend with the glow in the foreground and then our render in the background. Let's do a lens distort. Let's see what. Chromatic displacement. And we'll multiply noise in there, or we'll add it. I think multiply would be the one. No, I can't see. For some reason, the links are blocked. But you can leave it in, if you want, leave a link in the comments or something after the stream. Or I don't know if you can write a comment. So I'm going to probably finish off this stream, and then I'm going to jump on another stream just so the videos are separated. And it's going to be the day 25. So let's let me finish up here with this stream here. Just want to show the final one, and then I'm going to jump on the other one. Constant, we'll get a black color here. Right, and then we'll do, I didn't change the color, black. Okay. We'll do an over. All right, and then we'll do a ROP here, and there you go. J24 swarm final. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it came out okay. It's not my favorite, but for swarm, I guess it works out. It's a drone swarm, kind of going around and kind of building this thing in the sky or something. That's kind of the idea. Let me see the final render now. So this is the final render here. Oops. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. I'm gonna jump on another stream, and I'm gonna take like a 15-minute break, and then I'm gonna do another stream, which is gonna be really quick. It's gonna be the day 25, which is dance, and I'm really just thinking of grabbing one of the characters that's already rigged with Apex and kind of just posing them around, moving them around, doing a render with that, and calling it a day. But yeah, thank you guys for joining the stream. If you want to join the other stream, I'll be on again in like 15 minutes, and yeah, that'll be cool if you guys join again. I'll talk to you guys soon.